Okay, so this is this is SEUUSD or gold, and I'm going to start my analysis from the daily time frame because that's what the first thing I always look at. Right, okay. So if you check this properly, um this was Tuesday, right? This was Tuesday's candle, and this was Monday's candle. And as you can see, we've generated a bullish bias for this very day we are in right now because Tuesday's candle closed above Monday candle's high, right? This is the high of Monday's candle this week right here. So Tuesday's candle came as low as this and then went up to close above Monday's candle's high. So that have generated the bullish bias for Wednesday. So whatever would have been doing this Wednesday, it would have been looking for a buy opportunity, right? So would have been looking for a buy opportunity Wednesday. But the reason why we are not in any trade right now is because of this CPI. I don't trade news. I believe in trading after the news has been released, right? Because anything can happen. Because I myself, personally, I was looking at this news, even having a negative impact, that's pushing to the downside, right? So having a positive impact rather than pushing to the downside for gold, right? Pushing gold to the downside. So you can see the exact opposite happened. The news had an impact, push price to the upside. So that's why it's very, very safe to trade after the news, right? So now we've already generated a bullish bias for Wednesday. So like I said, from the daily candle, whatever we should be looking for is looking for a buy. But then that bias, trading based on that bias is not 100%. It's not, the concept is not 100%. It's just to add to your confluence that you're going to see with the price action that's going to play out, right? So yeah, this is what we've seen on the 4 hours. What I can see right here was price in this was Monday's movement, but let me just do a little bit of what happened. Price impulsed, and then came back down to retest this fair value gap it's left behind, covered the fair value gap, and then broke structure to the upside. Right, came back down to I don't know whatever I came back down to do, but it eventually broke finally because this was kind of a fake out, right? Price impulsed and then came back down to close. I need two candles closing above a particular point to consider it a break, but then price faked out and then finally broke out to the upside. So when price broke, we already said that we're going to be going to the upside. So what happened was price kind of did a little bit of retest and then broke to this upside right. So that's what I can see on gold. So basically what I'm looking for, because I'm still going to be looking for a buy based on what I'm seeing right now. I'm still going to be looking for a buy. The reason why I have this place marked out right here is if I switch to the 1 hour time frame, you're going to understand why that is marked out. So right from the 4 hours, the daily, we've already generated bullish buyers. That means you should be looking for buys, correct? So now that I'm looking at the 1 hour time frame, I'm seeing this fair value gap right here. Note, I might still change my buyers and look for a sell for the day. It just depends on whatever price is doing right here. That's what is going to determine whether I'm going to be buying or not. For what I'm seeing right now, the bias for now is still going to remain a buy until something else happens at this stop right here. Until something else, we could even move. Price might not come down to give us a retest to start buying, but then price might continue going up and then start showing a reversal pattern, and then we might start selling to these points where we intended to buy from because price moves very, very much well with liquidity, right? So I'm not even psyched by all this move happening right here. I'm looking for my entry model, right? So what I'm seeing right now is price was meant to respect the fair value gap, but then it disrespected the fair value gap. So when the price disrespects the fair value gap, it's always going to come back and retest the fair value gap from the other side and use that as support to push to the upside in this case right now. So that's what I'm looking for in gold right now because this fair value gap right here was disrespected. We can't possibly expect price to give us a retest up to this point because that's not even possible. If price has to come back down to this point, it's most likely just going to continue going down, right? So that's why I looked for the next structure I could possibly think of, and it is this internal liquidity, which is this fair value gap right here that I'm looking at. And I'm expecting price to give us a retest into this fair value gap. The fair value gap that's most likely turned into a fair value gap inversion before pushing to the upside. But from what I'm seeing right now, price is already coming up to this liquidity and this fair value gap at this stop. So this might even change into a sell bias. But for now, I'm still sticking to my buy. Anything can still happen. So that's for gold. So let's switch to the next pair right here, which is GBPUSD. Yeah, starting from the daily candle again. Yeah. So what I can see in the daily, this is Friday's candle. Price had liquidity at this high. took out that liquidity. You can see this move to the upside, took out that liquidity from this high right here, from this swing high right here, and then impulse to the downside, breaking structure to the downside, right? Which shows us signs that price might continue going to the downside. But then what happened Monday was that price came all the way to this low, take out liquidity, or took out liquidity from this low rather, from this swing low rather, and then went back up. So if you're using the daily bias perspective, you see that if price fails to close below a candle's low, that's this Friday's low. If price fails to close below this low right here, after coming all the way to this low and then it's going back up to close, it's generating a bullish bias for the next day, which means if price fails to close below a previous day low, it's most likely going to continue going to the upside in the next day. And that was what happened Tuesday. What happened Tuesday was that because we've generated a bullish bias for Tuesday, price eventually came all the way to this low on Tuesday, came all the way to this low right here. That's why you can see this line mark right here. This is previous day low, previous day high. These are important points in price I always mark, or I started marking rather because of the strategy I'm just coming up with. The previous day low and previous day high are very important points in price. So I marked this two out. So price came all the way to this low yesterday and then went back up to close. You can see it's also closed above the previous day high. So that has generated a bullish bias for this very day we are in now. We can see that bullish bias manifesting right now. So you can see right there, bullish bias generated. Can you see that? Bullish bias generated by closing above the previous day's high. So that's what I can generate from the daily time frame. So before even switching to any smaller time frame, I've already generated a bullish bias for this very day we are in right now. So if I switch to the 4 hours time frame, you see what happened, right? So this was the high of the previous day. This was the highest point price could trade to Tuesday yesterday, and this was the lowest point price could trade to Tuesday yesterday. And this was the trade we took yesterday. We've already from Monday. I told you from Monday we generated a bullish bias for Tuesday. So I waited for price to come all the way to this low on Tuesday. Saw my setup, entered the trade for a buy. We almost got stopped out, but then the stop loss was a very, very smart 10 pip stop loss because I knew I was going to put it below liquidity. So price was 10 pips, and let's take a better look at it on the 1 hour if that's possible. Okay, you can see right here, the stop loss was a very, very nice one. Price came all the way to this low, gave me my entry, I took a buy, and it took some time. It took over how many hours? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, but then we eventually hit our TP by the end of the day. So back to the 4 hours, so we can talk about our analysis on this pair. So this morning, price did what? That's from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Price closed above the previous day's high, right? This is the previous day high. Price closed above the previous day high. I knew I should have looked for an opportunity to take a buy, but first of all, I always trade the New York session, and the New York session only just opened. And secondly, okay, yeah, I have to trade the New York session. It wasn't my trading session, so I was just very, very patient, right? So also this could have turned out to be a fake out as well. That's secondly, I could have turned out to be a fake out, but then everything goes back to being waiting for my New York session, right? So that's for that. So after that, and you saw that this breakout actually manifested well because price eventually came back down to test the previous day's high. Because if price breaks the previous day high, remember the previous day's high is meant to act as resistance because that's the highest point price will trade to in a particular day. So price broke the previous day's high, came back down to give us a retest, and then pushed to the upside. And eventually, this was what CPI did, right? CPI pushed price all the way to this point. And then I marked the most important price action or the most important point at this stop because expecting price to trade down, because I am a conservative trader, I always wait for price to break and give me a retest, right? Expecting price to trade down up until this point to give us a retest before going higher again is actually being delusional. That can be possible. So I looked at the next point in price that price can possibly trade to, and it's this point right, because you can see that we have a lot of liquidity at this high, liquidity at this high, liquidity at this high as well. So this is actually an important point in price because this is buy side liquidity at this stop right here, and it has been taken. Our price has broken this point right here. So buy side liquidity is also meant to act as resistance, but then price has broken it. So what I'm expecting is price to probably give us a retest of this point and then go up, or price shows us a reversal pattern from this top and then trade all the way to this buy side liquidity right here. So that's the two things I'm expecting right now from GBPUSD. If I switch to the 1 hour time frame, yeah, so that's also like I was saying, is that price comes down, give us some kind of a retest and then push back up, which I'm doubting is most likely going to happen. Probably what I'm looking at is price showing us a reversal pattern at this top and then pushing all the way to this down as our TP level. So, well, as time goes on, we're going to know what's going to happen, but let's see. So the next pair we're going to be analyzing right here is Euro USD, right? And it's most likely going to be the same thing I said on GBP USD. So first of all, switch to the daily time frame. So, right, this is Monday's candle, and this is Tuesday's candle, and it's clear we took a buy on Tuesday right here. So what happened was on Monday, price traded all the way to this low, right? And then Tuesday, what happened? Price traded all the way to this low, and then it came to this resistance level that turned support, right? And I saw how price was reacting to this point, because you can see the last time price broke this resistance level, it came here, gave us a retest, and then pushed to the upside, right? So now price traded all the way to this resistance level again. I expected what? A similar movement, right? What price did price came all the way to this low and then rejected to the upside, right? For price to reject this point, this major point, which is the resistance, I expected price to push up the next day, and that was what happened on Monday, on Tuesday rather. So price traded all the way from this point Tuesday straight down here. And then when price traded down here, I saw a reversal pattern, kind of, and then I took it back. It's going to be clear on the 1 hour. So when price traded all the way to this point, I saw a reversal pattern. You can see this is a pattern right here, 3 candle pattern, reversal pattern, price traded all the way, give us our full TP by the next day. So back to the daily, talking about the daily bias. So now, as you can see right here, if we mark the high and the low of Monday, which is this candle right here, we mark the high and low of Monday. We saw that price traded all the way to Monday's low, and then rejected Monday's low, closed above Monday's low. So for price to fail to close below a particular low, it means it's going to be going higher the next day, right? So that's just the daily bias. Now, like I said, the daily bias is not a 100% concept. It's just a concept that is built to add to your trading style or add confirmation to your trading style. So technically speaking, we would have generated the bullish bias for the next day, which is what is manifesting itself right here, which means the bias was actually correct. And if I switch to the 4 hours, let's see what we can find on the 4 hours. Basically, the 4 hours is just supporting what we are talking about on the daily, because price traded the way here gave us a bullish entry, got hit TP in the morning, and CPI came, pushed all the way to close at this top right here. So I'm still finding it difficult to identify where price is most likely going to reverse to on Euro USD, but I'm still watchful of it, right? So I haven't really seen anything that is gonna give me an entry right here on Euro USD, but I know whatever I do on GBP USD is going to be the same thing on Euro USD because they are correlating. If I sell on GBP, I sell on Euro. If I buy on Euro, I buy on GBP. So it's all the same thing, right? So let's just see how price reacts right here. All right. So if price continues like this on gold, we are most likely going to be selling, like I said, because first of all, we disrespected this fair value gap, we turned into a fair value gap inversion. So we're most likely going to be trading back into this range. But how we are going to be trading back into this range is very, very important. Are we going to be trading back here as a retest to continue going higher, or are we going to be reversing from the top, just trading back here as a TP level? So that's two things, right? But what I'm seeing right now, price traded up to this point, and then went all the way to this high to fill in this fair value gap at the top. And this fair value gap is actually pushing price to the downside. So let's see. Switch to the 15 minutes time frame. That's going to be my execution time frame. So I'm most likely going to be watching the market most of the time from this point. So let's just keep watching. All right. So what I'm most likely looking at is price trading up the way to this point, giving us some kind of reversal pattern, continue going higher. So let's watch. All right, you guys. I said to buy good now, right? What I'm looking at right here on good is good just triggered into the entry I was looking out for. So you can see right here, you can take a buy on good, and good is rejecting right now, but the volume is very, very bad. It might just come down to stop us out. But the reason why I'm entry was because price rejected this point after going all the way to this high. I came here to close, but then eventually price broke to the upside. Now you can see this rejection candle, which means price is kind of rejecting the downside from this point. So, and this is my entry point. If I switch to the 5 minutes, I just hope we don't get stopped out right here. You can see this candle right here. This is a hesitation candle, which means price was rejecting the downside, right? Price came all the way to this low and it's rejecting the downside pretty hard. So price has broken to the upside, and I was waiting for price to come back down up onto this fair value gap to give us an entry, but this movement is pretty much very, very hard, and we might just get stopped at right here. I just hope that's not the case, right? Because the volume is very, very, very high right here. The volume is very high. We get stopped out, that's fine. We'll go again. But what I'm just trying to say is the volume is crazy. Very, very crazy. We are rejecting already. Let's take a look at this entry for GBPUSD and EURUSD. All right, so I'd like to enter for a buy right now on GBPUS. But then what I'm looking at on these entry points, they are just funny because the volume at which price is pushing up onto this entry is scaring me to not enter, right? But what I can see right here is a fair value gap after this hesitation candle when price was struggling to go up. Price hesitated before pushing to the upside. So price is now in this fair value gap right now. So I'd like to enter for a buy on these pairs. That's for EURUSD and GBPUSD right now, but then the volume is crazy. We might just get stopped out. Even on good, price was trying to push it the upside, but it's coming back down right now. So I don't know what to expect, but yeah, let's see. On good, on GBPUSD, I'm going to enter for a buy right now. Right, so I'm entering for a buy on GBPUSD right now. You can enter for a buy as well if you want to. Manage your risks properly. GBPUSD buy. Just enter for a buy. I'll tell you the TP, the stop loss level very soon. Buy on GBPUSD and also buy on EURUSD. Let's see how. All right, so EURUSD, the buy signal was sent out right somewhere around here. So stop loss is going to be stop loss. Let's see if we stop loss at 13 pips. Let's just leave it at 14 pips. And then okay, 14 pips, but good is already rejecting the downside, which is a good sign. I want to see that continue moving to the upside. If not, we might just go down and hit stop loss. But then the volume all the way to this downside is crazy, actually. It's crazy. So Let's take a look at GBP. Okay, GBP is kind of rejecting already. So now gold is rejecting again to the downside. Not a good sign. Second notes, I switch to the 15. And I tried to look at this on the 15. Oh, okay. I just got stopped out on gold right now. Just got stopped out on gold. So the volume all the way to this low would have been, yeah, the volume all the way to this low would have been, okay, this is probably going to be a break and maybe price might just, maybe we should have been looking at entry from somewhere for a sell, maybe from this stop right here. But the reason why I would have entered for a buy from here is because we disrespected the fair value gap first. Also, we're rejecting the downside. Price gave us a bullish engulfing candle and also another rejection candle to the top, which is a hammer candle signifying buys. So after that, what I was feeling like was going to happen was price coming all the way to this low to trigger us in for a buy on this fair value gap and then start rejecting to the upside. So that's the only thing I was thinking would going to happen. But maybe it was just, maybe it is just the stop loss level that was wrong. I don't know. Might have just been the stop loss that was wrong. Let's switch to the 15. Okay, to the 5. Probably the stop loss. Probably the stop loss was wrong. Price continues going to the upside. It's just going to be like the stop loss was what was wrong. Nothing was wrong with the trade. Maybe the stop loss. Right here on GBPUSD. Yeah. I still don't know where to set as my TP level because I like using those liquidity as my TP level. But you can see the gold. This gold still hasn't even decided which direction it's heading. Still deciding around here. Pretty much already rejecting to the upside on GBPUSD right now. Also, we have a fair value gap that was disrespected right here. Price action is now seem to be confusing. So we rejected to the upside. We had the fair value gap. Now price disrespects the fair value gap closing below it. Is it that maybe price is giving us another inversion? I don't know. Like I was saying, on the 1 hour candle right here, right? Price did not take out this liquidity at this high when he first got here with this green candle. Then the second candle, the first thing he did was going up to take out that liquidity, and I should have watched out for that. So taking out that liquidity, then filling this fair value gap right here. So if I had, I was expecting price to come down here to give us a retest, correct? Because we disrespected this 1 hour fair value gap. But what happened when this second 1 hour candle opened was it came all the way to this high, taking out that liquidity, filling that fair value gap at this end, and now it's coming all the way to this low. So I should have expected that was going to happen. Now, this is looking like a fake out. And I always like when two candles break a particular structure. For instance, if price was meant to disrespect this fair value gap, I would have loved for price to do it with two candles. That's one closing at this top, another one closing at this top again to show us that two candles closed on top of this fair value gap, so making it a valid fair value gap inversion. But now this first one closed above the fair value gap, and the other one is coming back in here to close. And this candle is going to close in the next 4 minutes. So if that happens, I'm going to attempt taking one more entry, which is going to be a sell. But I'm going to attempt taking one more entry, and the take profits level is going to be the previous day's high right here that was broken already. So I switch to the 15 minutes time frame, everything is going to start making sense. Because first of all, this volume to the downside, and also price taking out this I think what really confused me was, I was ignorant, first of all, because I saw price going up for that liquidity. First, that was not meant to happen. And then secondly, something supported my claim, which was this candle right here. This first one coming here that took out the liquidity, and then this second one giving us a hammer candle, which signifies a buy, right? So this actually supported my claim that we are still going to be going up. If probably this candle, this candle came down here to close, I'd have expected price to come back inside this fair value gap and give us a sell to the downside, but that price just tried to confuse me, and it's actually worked right here. So what I'm expecting right now is this next candle that's going to close in 15 minutes, close probably somewhere below this fair value gap, which gives us a sign that we're going to be going down. And then if that happens, we're going to have a 15 minutes fair value gap, which is going to be right here, 15 minutes fair value gap right here, between these three candles right here, this, and this, right? And what I'm going to look out for is price giving us a retest of this fair value gap, and then we're going to use that to take a sell towards the previous day's high. So that's what I'm looking out for right now. Because first of all, if you check out this volume is massive, right? Massive to the downside. So hopefully we're going to get a retest of the midpoint. Stop loss can be, stop loss can be 40 pips. Okay, let's say stop loss is going to be somewhere above here. Right? That means I have to make my entry a little bit tighter because I don't want to risk anything. I might not get triggered in because I would like to be greedy with this entry so that I don't get stopped out very early. This is the fair value gap on the 5. I should be for my entry to be somewhere around here. If that's even going to play out, then my stop loss. And what I'm seeing right now is even getting me confused the more. So I'm now rejecting down. I want price to close somewhere below this point, if this setup is even going to eventually play out. So let me see what's happening on these other pairs. Switch to the 1 hour and check it out. All right. EURUSD is just doing its own thing, going to the upside. We're already closed out of this trade already, so what is doing something else? It's now rejecting the fair gap again. So nevertheless, we still have a fair value gap right here on goods. Let me remove this one, our fair value gap, and focus on this one we have right here. We still have a fair value gap right here. Now, yeah, we are having what I'm seeing right here on GBPUSD is I'm having a fair value gap inversion again, right? So yeah, price gave us a fair value gap when it was going up, and now it gave us a fair value gap inversion. So if price can give us a retest of this point, this fair value gap inversion right here, I'll take a sell from there. Take a sell from there and target these lows right here. So this is going to be the second entry I'm going to be entering right now, because since the first one, I was not patient enough to wait for these moves to happen. And apart from that, these candles right here confuse me. A bullish candle and then two bullish candles, a bullish candle and this hammer candle, or this doji candle that looks like a hammer, right? So these both candles actually signifies a buy movement. And then the next thing I'm seeing is two bearish candles, right? One is respecting this fair value gap and the other one coming down here to close. So what I just feel like, if I switch to the 1 hour, it just seems all bearish, right? So now I'm going to act using this fair value gap right here as my last entry. If possible, we are going to be hitting TP this time around. So the other entry I'm going to be looking at is right here. A mitigation of this fair value gap. Stop loss is going to be at this high. Stop loss is going to be at this high right here. Let's leave it stop loss at 15 pips. Right? And take profits. I don't know. Oh, this is too much of a target, but I'm going to be targeting something. My take profit is going to be somewhere here. Right? Take profit is going to be at this point right here. I think that's a decent take profit level. EURUSD is now coming down. All right. EURUSD is just confusing, giving me two bullish candles when the other candles are showing me bearish movements to the downside. Still don't understand this play actually. These are simple entry models that price is just disrespecting. feel like this CPI just came to fuck up the markets, right? Price is now retesting the previous day's high on gold right now. Being an aggressive trader is just taking a buy immediately price gets here, but that's going to be guessing. And yeah, after this break, it only makes sense for price to give us a retest and then at least go up until this point. But I don't know, this conservative trader kind of way is making me not able to do all of this. If not, after price has rejected from this point and I saw the impulse to the downside, I would have just taken it buy as price was just impulsing. But no, I'm looking for a break and a retest all the time, right? Break, retest. So even on GBPUSD, that is even meant to give us a retest of this fair value gap. It's even an inversion, which is even stronger than a fair value gap. If you have a fair value gap, that's one thing. If you have an inversion, that's something else. And an inversion, I think, is stronger than a fair value gap. So price is meant to even give us a retest before pulling down. But I think the market has forgotten the way it moves because of this CPI news that just went all the way from this point up.